Alright, Section 4, uninterruptible power system requires uninterruptible power systems with essentially procured with the government furnished equipment. The government furnished equipment include the uninterruptible power system module, the uninterruptible power system battery. The emergency generator is not normally included with the part of the general government furnished equipment. The procurement of the equipment is beyond the scope of the hand with the of the installation. Such equipment, in conjunction with the auxiliary system, must be properly designed with the requirements to understand the special life of the equipment. The concepts involved with this section cover the equipment installation criteria of which were integrated with the individual protection requirement that should produce a safe, reliable, cost-efficient design. 4.2 criteria. Latest issue with the following documents should be ensure the correct installation of the government furnished equipment: the uninterruptible power system module, battery, emergency power, manufacturer's installation, i.e. 446, the recommended practice of the emergency standby power system of the DM12-1, electronic facility engineering, environmental consideration, mechanical design, DM3, DM12-1, power load categories, illustrated in figure 4, DM12-1, with the particular categories listed as defined DM12-1, station load, non-operational load, operation load, utility load, non-technical data, non-technical load, electrical load, non-technical load, non-critical electrical load, non-critical technical load, critical electrical load, critical technical load. Following definition for the term shall apply. The non-interruptible power supply system. The uninterruptible power supply system contains the UPS equipment, the backup of the power source, the environmental equipment, that switchgear with the control together with a reliable, continuous quality of electrical power system. Critical electronic load. Critical electronic load is that the part of flow requires the continuous quality of electrical power for the success of operation. Uninterruptible power supplies. Uninterruptible power supplies consist of one more uninterruptible power supply module for the energy storage battery. The accessory required to provide the high quality power with the uninterruptible power supply isolates the load of primary of the emergency of the power with the short of the and with the power interruption provided with the regulated power with the critical load with the specified with the period is bang with the battery with the capacity of the battery normal of 15-minute capacity with the operating with the full load. The uninterruptible power supply mode of the module. The uninterruptible power supply module is a static power with a conversion with the power portion of the UPS system with the consider the rectifier with the inverter with the associated with the control of the along with the synchronizing protective device. The uninterruptible power supply module is being designed to operate with either individual in parallel. Non-redundant UPS configuration. Non-redundant UPS configuration consists of the UPS module, static basic circuit that has a battery with the maintenance base bypass cabinet. Upon failure of the UPS module, the static bypass circuit will automatically transfer the critical electronic load with the primary emergency source without interruption to the load. See Figure 2. F. Cold standby redundant UPS configuration. Cold standby with the redundant UPS configuration. It consists of the two independent non-redundant UPS modules with the common battery. The UPS mode. One UPS mode operates with the line, but the other UPS module is turned off. This should the operating with the US module fail, it should the static bypass circuit will automatically transfer this critical electronic load with the primary emergency source for the interrupted to critical load. The second, the UPS mode is manually energized the plate for the bypass mode. The operation transfer critical load with external make before break non-automatic circuit break over the contact operated with the plate for the load with the second UPS bypass circuit. Finally, the critical electronic load the return bypass for the second of the UPS mode V for the static switch, and the two UPS mode cannot operate with the parallel, therefore an interlocking circuit that must be provided to prevent the condition of the C figure 3 with the UPS mode for the transfer to form of the cold standby every 3 with the mode for the mode of the operation. So the transfer of the circuit of the interlock with the external bypass of the two circuit break with the contact with the should be down automatic with the motor operating with the transfer of the mode to and from one UPS from the other shall be closed circuit with the make with the break. The transmission shall be possible with only the UPS as or bypass mode operation. Transfer circuit operation with the transfer critical load from the UPS mode with the module number 1 to the UPS module number 2. The both modes are played for the in bypass mode with the make of the break for the make before break. Non-automatic circuit breakers are operated with the transfer critical load with the bypass circuit for the uninterrupted power supply module number 2 after. And then it shows we'll see let's scan out of this. This is your typical non-redundant configuration. Show the normal power supply A, the alternate power source B, with the emergency generator, NC tie-in, NO tie-in, bypasses, operational load, utility, non-operational load, rectifier, battery, inverter, switch, static, unbreakable power switch, auxiliary switch, break it with the general furnished equipment, non-critical electrical loads, maintenance bypass cabinet, critical electronic loads. Alright, then you have the utility bus, no tie-ins, electronic buses, the UPS unit, general forward bypass, and the UPS module, rectifier, inverter, static switch, external bypass cabinets, bypass circuit breaker with the UPS module number 2, battery, and then with the critical load, transfer of the supply with the inverter output of the UPS mode with the number 1 can comply with the isolate with the maintenance for the repair. Parallel redundant with the UPS configuration. Parallel redundant with the UPS configuration. Specifically more UPS module with the system control cabinet with the common bear with the UPS module to operate with the parallel with the system capable of supplying with the rated critical load with the upon failure for the aim of the 1 UPS mode. With the UPS module will disconnect from the UPS module with the interruption of the critical load. See figure 4 with the figure 5 with the redundancy with the factory with requiring the UPS system to run redundant. The UPS system satisfactory of the most operation justification for the at expense either redundant system with the given in the paragraph 451 and 452. The cold standby with the redundant unbreakable power system provided with the cold standby the redundant with the unbreakable power system with the installation site with the isolate with the logistic with the support with the port with the when with the primary electrical power system exhibits the poor reliability experience more than 4 power with interruptions per month when the primary electrical power supply of the voltage provides voltage and frequency fluctuations and which are limited to the permitted with the military handbook 411 with the long haul communications power environmental control of the physical plant. 452 the parallel redundant unbreakable power systems of the provided with the parallel redundant unbreakable power systems with the frequency of the primary electrical power supply with the must be converted to the several critical load with the 50 Hz, 60 Hz, and 60 Hz to 400 Hz. 46 electrical circuit with the bypass to connect with the 2 separate electrical circuits with the uninterruptible power system. Rectifier circuit with the 2 of the uninterruptible power system. Bypass the circuit shall provide with when possible the shell and emanate the 2 separate bus for the electrical uninterruptible power system. Bypass connected with the electrical non-cyclic bus rectifier connected to the utility cylindrical bus. The connection provides the isolation sensitive to the electronic load with the effect of the UPS rectifier harmonic distribution motor startup current in rush. 461 electrical service side. The UPS system is conservative with the continuous step below the service with the rectifier bypass circuit with the side of the corner for the article 220 of the National Electrical Code required come with the rectifier circuit calculated based on the UPS output rating of the drive of the UPS efficiency multiplied by the load factor of 125% of the take into account of the battery charge of the UPS bypass circuit must be rated less than the current of the both of the UPS loss of the battery charge. The requirements may be not supplied. By 462 the maintenance bypass provision provided the maintenance of the equipment. The bypass the provision provided the valve. The non-redundant UPS system UPS unit with the install of the external bypass switch in order to complete with the isolate with the UPS unit with this is to enable the testing of the UPS unit with the include with the static switch for the dummy load with the interruption of the circuit critical bus. The H for the module of the cold standby redundant UPS system has the same with the multiple built-in bypass circuit provision with the non-redundant UPS complete. For the utility bus with the NO type with the electronic bus bypass UPS general furnished equipment government furnished equipment UPS module number 1 rectifier inverter of UPS module number 2 rectifier inverter into the battery and then back to the critical control cabinet on UPS output with the critical bus. Isolation of the 1 UPS module with including bypass of the other modules in here with the cold standby of the redundant configuration. See Figure 3. The parallel redundant UPS contained with the built-in manual bypass the critical with the control cabinet with the server the isolate with the unit uninterruptible power system module during an emergency condition with the manual bypass with the provider the before breaks the switching contained with the synchronized provision with the frequency conversion with the provider of the UPS solid state with the frequency conversion system motor generator set will require bypass the UPS uninterruptible power system module. The uninterruptible power system distribution system and uninterruptible power system serve with the critical load only with the non-critical loads are served with a separate distribution system supplied with them in either electronic utility bus or as appropriate. 471 critical load protection provide critical load panel with the current limiting current circuit breaker with the fast acting fuse to shorten the transit and effects for the under voltage cover the load for all the critical motor loads due to the injury loss of the strength of the critical power and with the motor generator set with the connection with the UPS should be limited to frequency conversion applications. Generally, with the motor generator shall have the start with the UPS bypass circuit with the help of the motor generator should be started with rectifier mode of the operation under the following conditions. When rating for the motor generator set with less than 5% of the UPS rating, when the reduced voltage start with the utilize with each of the motor load, when the one motor generator is connected to the critical load for each of the set with the engine drive with the sequentially rather than simultaneously. Solid state frequency conversion systems may be conserved in lieu of the motor generator set. 4.8 emergency electrical power source requirements. The UPS system can be conserved with critical electrical load continues during the period of the normal source of electrical power outage with only if one or more of the emergency engine generators are provided side of the supply with only the UPS equipment, but also necessary auxiliary equipment with the lighting, ventilation, air conditioning with the emergency electrical power source shall be the critical with given in paragraph 481 through 485. 481 automatic operation of the emergency generator shall be automatic with the shell of the automatic transfer to load upon the normal electrical power failure shall include the provision of automatic load shedding of the load restoration with required 4A2 parallel at minimum the manual synchronizing with the emergency generator. The normal electrical power source shall be provided as an alternative to the automatic synchronizing emergency generator within the normal electrical power source of the can serve if more than one generator is installed. The automatic repairing capability should be provided with the parallel operating generator. If the local commercial utility should supply may require the approval of the local utility company. 4A3, starting of the maintenance consideration control shall allow the delay starting with the emergency generators from 10 to 120 seconds available to set by the facility to avoid cycling with the generators during the monetary transit with the outage of the non-electrical power system. Contrary control shall be also provided with the test position with the generators to allow them to run with the set period until the temperature stabilizes in less than 30 minutes. For the maintenance purpose of the procedure shall be done once every 2 weeks. Surface configuration of small load with a small installation with the economically operational feasible to have the small emergency electrical generator both supplied with both UPS equipment and other essential auxiliary system loads. Alright, battery charging restrictions do not provide additional battery charging requirements side with the emergency generator. The UPS provide the automatic control limit with the battery charging current with the 3% of the output rating whenever the emergency generator the furniture the power with the UPS provided with the rate of load. 4.9 electromagnetic interference suppression with determine the necessity of the UPS installation conform the electromagnetic interference with the suppression of the requirements of the military standard war 61 electromagnetic interference character with the requirements of the equipment. The UPS equipment is not furnished with the electromagnetic interference suppression provision unless the facility is located with the electromagnetic interference sensitive to the site with the electromagnetic interference suppression with the necessary for the specific installation. All of the conductors should be installed with the thread with the rigid steel conduit with the electromagnetic interference suppression requirements. 410, the unbreakable, uninterruptible power system battery. The general government furnished electric battery provided with a heavy-duty indestructible lead calcium type of having an ampere-hour rating sufficient with the supply of the direct current of the inverter converted with the manufacturer installation instructs the battery rack for the also with the government furnished equipment. Battery is as normally furnished with a 2-tire rack. The battery rack shall be grounded seismic rack shall be provided where required. 411, the remote alarm. The uninterruptible brake system equipment supplied with the government furnished equipment, remote motor panel, monitor panel installed with the operating space and service with the UPS in a unit with another continuously occupied room search for the guard office. The UPS equipment should be usually unattended with additional remote indicating device that should be provided to monitor environmental control of the fire alarm system, the UPS module and battery rooms. The UPS battery room requirements. The UPS module associated with the battery should be installed with a separate room. The construction should be of the permanent type of the wall separately with the UPS module room from the battery. The room shall be fireproof with a 1-hour rating. It is recommended that there were practical space to provide with the UPS module with the battery rooms for the additionally future of the UPS equipment. Additional design requirements are given them with the paragraph 412 through 41, 412 through 412.1 through 412.4. Installation consideration incorporating the UPS module of the battery manufacturer installation instructs them way for the dimension of the efficiency of the requirements of claims for the design with special attention should be given to the floor loading of the battery and room with the entrance of the door dimension for the installation. UPS module ceiling have the clearance for the necessary environmental system. The National Electrical Code OSHA of the American National Standard Institute design the battery room in accordance with the Article 480 of the National Electrical Code OSHA and ANSI requirement to provide the emergency eye wash at the shore facilities at which the minimum capacity comply with the OSHA ANSI Z 35181 of the emergency eye wash and shower equipment. Some of the facility with the equipment to do quick drenching of the eyes shall be body shall be furnished within 25 feet of the working area. Emergency lighting requirements. Provide emergency lighting units with which meet the requirements of federal specifications of WL305 lighting and set general illumination with the uninterruptible braking power, uninterruptible brake power system module and battery rooms. Telephone requirements provide the telephone in adjacent to the uninterruptible power module. Alright, and then you have the environmental control with both the UPS module battery room shall provide the environmental control system maintained with the prescribed with the inside of the room condition environmental control system should consider for the paramount for the backup the capability supporting uninterruptible power requirements of the electrical power system. Upon failure of the primary system and the automatic transfer of the backup system shall occur with the shell sound with the alarm indicating the need for the maintenance of the design of these environmental control systems should conform with the DM3 and GM12.1. Section 5, Installation Distribution System.